simply because I was dissatisfied with the business and from the business perspective side of it, and that's why I didn't record anymore. I just left the business. I didn't travel anymore or anything else. I decided to come back and make another CD because of some experiences that I had, and I wanted to help people, and I needed money to help people, so I wanted to raise money to help people by building a rehab and uh, obtaining houses to help the homeless. That's what I wanted to do. So that's why I decided to come back and make a record after all these years. I think it's been something like 30 years. 71, last CD I made was in 72, 82. That's over 30 years. Hmm.
So you helped people during this time.
Yes, I help the homeless and drug addicts and mental patients in America, and that's what I do. I'm a pastor of a church there, and I'm out on the road to raise money to enhance that project, to the glory of God, of course, and that's why I'm here.
Okay, thank you. Is it because of God that you became a new man with a fantastic voice? Be-
Well, yeah, I became a new man certainly because, during that period of time that I was absent from the music business, I had a battle with drugs and homelessness over a 10-year period of time, and of course, nothing worked for me except God, who set me free from being a junkie and homeless and brought me back to where I am today, alive, because even as a sinner, I was dead. So he brought me back to being alive in a lot of ways, literally and spiritually. So, that's what I attribute making this last CD to, Rediscovered. That's why I named it that. And, I'm on a mission to reach my objectives. And that's why I'm traveling around the world. I'm glad to be back here in Paris again. Yes, I was received so well last year. And, I'm just anxious to give them some more good music and to crank out some more good CDs.
Thank you. Has Ron Kennedy helped you to find the way back to the stage?
Yes, Ron Kennedy played a very influential part in my coming back into the music business because it was Ron Kennedy who found me in the supermarket and informed me that I had become a cult artist. Well, he didn't tell me had become a cult artist, but he told me they had re-released one of my CDs and it had done very well in Europe and they owed me money. Well, I didn't believe him at the time, but it proved to be true. And of course, I started getting calls from journalists here in Paris. A journalist called me from Vibrations. They did an interview on me, and I got calls from England, Australia, all over the world. They started calling me, and all started from Ron Kennedy, and who hooked me up with Phil Kasdan, the disc jockey, who was playing some of the cuts from the re-released Get It While You Can album, CD. And on the liner notes they had on it, Howard Tate is more than likely dead. He hasn't been heard from in over 30 years, so he's more than likely dead. Well, that wasn't the case. And of course, Phil Kasdan took some pictures. We met. He took some pictures and downloaded them on the internet. And these people all over the world, Phil Delnott in England, Vibrations magazine out of here, a journalist called me out of Paris from Vibrations magazine. A journalist called me from Australia and New Zealand. All over the world they called me that night, that very night that I had dinner with Phil Kasdan. And he went home and downloaded it on the internet. And all these people were raving over the fact that I was alive because they thought I was dead. And so it started from there. And of course, the next day I got home and one of the men who I was housing because he was homeless told me, said, Jerry called me. Well, it turned out it was my old producer, of 30 years ago, Jerry Ragavoy. And so lo and behold, I put all this together to be a sign or a message from God that I should come back.
Yes.
Well, I prayed about it and I asked God, would it be a conflict to come back and sing secular music as compared to spiritual music? And the answer he gave me was it depends on the life you live and your relationship with him, that it had nothing to do with, whatever you sing, as long as it wasn't something that's going to be detrimental to somebody or with lyrics in it so bad that it's adverse, it proves adverse to somebody, that you could do that. And so here I am.
Cool. But it's incredible to see that all the people were talking about you and listening to your music, and you didn't know that.
I didn't know it. No, I had no idea. I didn't think there was any interest in Howard Tate. I didn't think there was any interest. I was totally shocked. And the fact that I had become a cult, yeah, and the fact that I had become a cult artist.
Yes, a cult.
Jimi Hendrix covered "Stop," B.B. King and Bonnie Raitt covered "Ain't Nobody Home," Aretha Franklin covered "8 Days on the Road," and Roy Crowder covered "Look at Granny Run." And I've run into several groups since I've been out on the road this time who have recorded my songs and who do my songs in their show.
Like The Who, Janis Joplin, The Stone, who has...
Janis Joplin, get it while you can.
Yes, so this helped you to be more known.
Yes, it helped me to be more known. Because back in the 60s and the 70s when I was with Verve, they didn't know how to market me, They were a jazz label. They didn't know how to market a soul artist. And so I wasn't very well known because of the marketing failures of Verve. But yes, through Janis Joplin and Aretha Franklin and B.B. King and Bonnie Raitt and Roy Crowder and all of those and Jimi Hendrix, I became more known because they covered my material.
Have you met Jimi Hendrix?
No, I never met him.
No, he just took your song and...
Yes.
Okay.
Well, they were listening to my music way back there. They were listening, Verve didn't know how to mass market me with the public. They just didn't know how. Had I been on a Stack or a Motown back there, I'd have sold 100 million records probably. But Verve didn't know how to market me. But the artist was listening. Jimi Hendrix was listening. I'm trying to think of this piano player. What's his name? Elton John. I heard Elton John talk about once on television Howard Tate, and and they were listening to my material, my songs and things, and so I had become the artist.
Yes, but it's incredible to see that all those artists who replayed your songs were marketed by the companies,
Yeah.
and they were having like kind of a problem to marketing you. It's strange.
Well, that's because of the decisions made by my producer at the time. He took me to the wrong label.
Okay.
Yes, my producer clearly took me to the wrong label.
Okay. Do you think that R&B has replaced rhythm and blues among the kids? You know the R&B music that you hear now?
Yes.
Is this now the new music you think that is loved by kids? Do you think that rhythm and blues is finished or still?
No, I don't think rhythm and blues will ever be finished or soul. It'll always have its niche in the music business, just like jazz, gospel. They'll all have their place. It may not be, if you notice the statistics, rhythm and blues is on the increase. So is Christian gospel records. They're on the increase. Over a period of time, music changes. The fads change, but it'll always have its place. There's soul music lovers. There's blues lovers. I've just come from Japan. I was in Asia, touring in Japan, and they love their blues, and soul music. You've got that certain market of people that love music, so it'll always have its place.
Okay. What do you think about the music industry, knowing that the money has oftenly distracted artists?
Would you repeat that, please?
What do you think about the music industry, knowing that this music industry has oftenly distracted a lot of artists?
What do I think about the music industry, knowing that the money has distracted a lot of artists?
Yes.
Well, I think the music business is one of the most ruthless businesses there is, and I think you have to have a good team, you have to have good, honest people with you to succeed and get your money, get your due, or they'll still rip you off. But you got to find the right people, and it's not hard. It's not easy. It's not easy. Yeah, there was a thing where Jennifer Lopez fired her manager. What was it, a year or so ago? The allegation was that it was missing money. So, you got good people and bad people, and you got to find the good ones.
You get to choose.
Yes, and choose the right ones. You got to have a good lawyer. You got to have a good CPA accountant as a business manager.
Protect yourself.
To protect yourself, you need a team in place.
Yeah. Can you tell us what are your plans for the next months?
Well, my plans are to make another CD. I plan to release live in Europe. I've been on tour in Europe for 5 weeks. I plan to release live in Europe. I plan to make a new CD next year. I plan to do a gospel CD. And I plan to tour a lot in Europe next year. And the rest of this year, after this tour, I'm going to probably tour in the States. But next year, I plan to tour Europe and Asia for the most of the year, yes. Because I'm sort of like the new kid on the block, and I think, they kind of want to hear Howard Tate a little more, and I want to give it to them, while I still can.
The whole world is waiting for you now.
Thank you. I'm glad they are.
God bless you.
Thank you, and God bless you.
Thank you.
Yes.
Can you say Mazal TV? Good luck for Mazal TV.
Yes.